Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm trying something a little bit different here. Hopefully this light isn't too bright. It's kind of hard to see on the Sony. I can't tell like what's on the other side, but I'm here in front of it. And also I'll warn you right now, this is going to be a talking video, just explaining where I'm at with just a few things. So with these last two tuning videos I've been doing, I feel like there's been a lot of confusion as to what I was doing. You know, I drove all the way down to New Braunfels to get a tune. I came back without one, but now I'm working on one. So I just want to, take a minute and clear a few things up so everyone is up to speed on what is happening with the car. So basically, a couple weeks ago, I drove down to New Braunfels to visit Dynatronics, and you can find more about them in the description, dynatronicstuning.com. They're awesome. No, this isn't a video of me about to bash a shop or anything like that, so just follow along and you can see how maybe this process would work for you. So we went down there and really cool shop. A lot of cool cars showed up. Basically what happened was with each model of Miata, NCs, maybe for the NAs and NBs, I don't know if it's for the NDs, I'm sure it is, you essentially have a car computer, much like a regular computer at home. And as you go through that, computer's life, there's certain updates that you can perform. There's new iterations with every model that comes out, new years, new features, things like that, much like you would updating your Mac or your Windows computer. And in order to upload a tune, you have to have a tune that fits the hardware that's on the computer already. And the issue was that the hardware that was on my car's computer didn't match one of the firmware or updates to the tune. Obviously a tuner would know more about this than I do, but I'm just doing my best to explain it the way that I heard it. We could have uploaded a file that was kind of similar to mine, or we could have downgraded or upgraded my current file to then put a tune that matched on the car's computer. The issue with that is it's safest to put a tune that matches your car's ECU to better suit it rather than doing the latter, because your computer could lock up, something could go wrong inside of it, and then you need to get a new ECU, and it's just a lot of time wasted, resources wasted, and it's not the correct way to do it. So what we did was Joe pulled my file from the computer. Joe is the guy from Dynatronics. He's the master mechanic, tuner, whatever you want to call him. Really cool guy, he's great, he's been super helpful so far. He pulled my file from my computer and sent it off to EQTech, which is the company that runs their tune, and they have the tune for the NC, and there are other tunes that you can get for the NC, but EQTech is the one that I had chose and wanted the features like race ROM and things like that, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So we drove back with a borrowed license key and a EQTech OBD2 cable. Joe was kind enough to supply me with that. It's something that you need if you're going to be remote tuning, which is what we ended up having to do given the circumstances. So what happened was, after my car file was sent to EQTech, they responded with a tune that was in their system that would work for my car and the hardware or updates that were on my ECU already. With that information, Joe can go in and in a previous video, in part 1 of my tuning process, he supplied me with a base map tune just to get me started, to start logging, things like that. And with that, I uploaded it using a tablet that I got and the supplied cable and license key. Drove around for a little bit, and then I went ahead and I logged to a new file. So essentially, after you log, it shows everything that's going on with your car, from air-fuel ratio to engine load, throttle position, everything. It's crazy, and it's totally beyond me on my understanding. And what's really cool about this whole process is I I do the work of driving the car and testing, it saves those files, and then I can send them back to Joe all the way down in New Braunfels. He takes a look at the logs and he tweaks the file, sends you back a new one, and you repeat the process a few times over. So I was actually sent my third iteration this morning. I loaded it up, I drove it home. Joe instructed me to drive the car for 200 to 300 miles before I start logging, so the ECU can really learn what's going on with my car specifically. What's really cool is this whole process is catered to you and your car, how you drive, things like that. And I like to feel that I know my car better than anyone else. I drive it every single day. And with that being said, this is only the third iteration, and we are pretty much only getting really into the tuning process, but I can confidently tell you that the car feels a lot better than it did before I had the tune. A lot of people were asking, it didn't seem like it really did much, you don't seem excited, things like that, and that's totally understandable. For one, I'm not like an openly excited person. Just for future reference, I am excited about this, very much so, but with the base map, I wasn't expecting to see dramatic results already, so I wasn't really expecting much. I was just trying to log and get to that point. The second iteration, car felt a little bit better, it felt good. And then with this third one, I don't know why, but I've really been able to tell the difference in what's happening with the car, the way the car responds to your position on the pedal when you're giving it acceleration. It just feels so much better. And I don't want to go as far to say that the car is faster. I don't know if that's my place to say it, because I'd like to actually plan to take this to the dyno once we're done with the tuning. But I was thinking about it on the way home today, knowing that I wanted to make this video, and I think that the best way I can describe it is that the car feels more confident. By the car feeling more confident, I mean when you put your foot down in first and second gear specifically, because there's a weird torque limiting in first and second gear that's on the stock computer. When you put your foot down in first and second gear, the car does not hesitate to continue going. You don't feel like there's any ramp up in power, or it doesn't feel sluggish anymore. You put your foot down and you're going until you shift gears. And by confident, I mean the car is ready to go, it's going to go, and there's gonna be no hesitation when you put your foot down, go to pass someone or get on the highway, whatever you're doing. It just feels really good. And so far, I haven't experienced any issues. I really don't plan to. Joe at Dynatronics has done enough to where I am fully trusting his ability to make my car work the way it should and continue to do so. It's quite honestly it's made me really almost fall in love with the car all over again from the day I got it. Looking at it now, thinking of all the things that I have done to it to get it to where it is now, it's a really cool feeling to drive your car that you've been driving every single day for the past 3 years, and to have it feel faster and feel more confident and feel like it's a new car. It's really awesome. So you might be wondering, what happens next? And I'm sorry this tuning process is taking a while. I was kind of under the impression that it would be one day you get a new tune every single day, but it's not. These things take time, and I'm doing my best to be patient here, but I'm not a patient person by any means. So I need to drive 200 to 300 miles, do the logs, test out the different race ROM modes, and send those logs back to Joe, and then I think we're going to be very close to completing this process. If you want to learn more about race ROM and the things that come in the EcuTech tune, I'm going to go ahead and put a link in my description. They'll do a much better job at explaining the features than I will, but it's things like auto blip, launch control, flat foot shifting, rev limiter adjustments, things like that. If you're curious about the tune, head down to the description and click that link, and learn more about the tune. So the not bad news for me, because I'm very excited about this, but the bad news for you guys is I've been doing my best to document this process as quickly as I can, all while trying to be patient and do the right thing, make sure things work the way they should. I'm gonna shoot to try to hit the 200 to 300 mile mark by the end of this week and send those logs to Joe. This Friday, I need to take a short break from this tuning process, so I'll be working on a video the next week, but don't expect to see anything tuning related until probably the end of next week. But I'm doing my best to make sure I can show this process. I didn't show like a part 3 of me tuning again because you've already seen me upload files and program the ECU, so it's not exactly necessary to show it every single time. And I hope you guys can understand that. This is all new to me, so sometimes I do need to do it by myself to understand it better, because I really don't want to mess it up. So if you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you guys sticking around. I'm not foreseeing many new people watching this video, so if you're a current subscriber and you watch this, I want to personally say thank you for subscribing to my channel. We've hit 515 last I checked, and it's quite honestly like it's really awesome to me to even hit that number. You know, there's people out there with tons more subscribers than I do, and I aspire to, you know, reach their level and obviously kind of see the same numbers they do. But for right now, this is like a close-knit community to me of people who watch me and share their comments, and I appreciate everyone who does that. Will there be a 500 subscriber special? Yes, but right now I just need to focus on this and not do something wild, because once this is done, the car is going to be driven, it is going to be used, and it is going to be enjoyed. So stay tuned for something special for 500 subscribers. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you might like to see on this channel. I know a lot of it has been like Miata tuning and modifications and things like that, and I know a lot of people enjoy that. I've thought about doing vlogs and things like that, but I'm not feeling super inspired to do that yet. Maybe I don't see where outside of cars my life is that exciting. But you know, maybe we can sprinkle in a vlog or two and just kind of see how people react to it. But this channel, Colored in Light, is going to be mainly about cars and my life around cars and things like that. So don't expect me to, you know, jump and do all vlogs next week and then one car video and then all vlogs again. That's not going to happen. So what kind of modifications would you like to see to the car? I'm genuinely curious on things that you would be interested in. So leave that comment below on what you might like to see with the NC Miata, and I'll do my best to accommodate. Future plans for me, you know, outside of this tune, there's not much else I can do power-wise besides a 2.5 engine swap or crazy things like superchargers and turbos. Everything's a possibility. This is my daily driver, so the longest it can be out of commission is maybe a weekend. And I'm sorry to say, it's kind of sad. I would love to just rip this car apart and go crazy on it, but it can't happen right now. Exterior wise, there's a lot of things that I want to do still. You know, wheels are like a good pair of shoes. They last as long as they should, and then, you know, you want to go to something else. Your styles change. So wheels can always change. I really want to do a rear and front diffuser slash splitter, and I really love the Singular Motorsports hood vents. I know it's crazy cutting into a perfectly good hood, but I just think they look so aggressive and like OEM at the same time. They just look like they fit the car to me. If you don't agree, I'm sorry, but at some point I am going to cut the hood up. Another thing that I've seriously neglected to do, that I wanted to do, is get rid of these dinky roll hoop bars, whatever. and get an actual roll bar, something like a Hard Dog or Blackbird Fabworks, I think is the name. The issue with them is, for some reason, they don't want people to take photos of more than half the roll bar. And that would be super unfair to you guys if I got that and made a video on it and could only show half of it, because that's not the point of an install video. So I'm kind of leaning towards something like a Hard Dog roll bar. So companies like Goodwin Racing, if you want to supply some hood vents or a Hard Dog roll bar, I would be more than happy to plug your website, and I would do it like every single day for the rest of my life if you sent me one of those. Or any company for that matter. If you're out there and you watch my videos and you have a product that you might like to see on this car, I'm more than happy to kind of work with you and see what we could come up with. I'm all for testing products and things like that. And if you want to reach out to me, feel free to send an email to the email address in my description. But I think this video has gone on for too long. Hopefully I covered everything regarding the tune. If you have any questions at all, feel free to send me an email or leave a comment below. I'd be happy to talk with you. You can also shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm always on there. And if you catch me on Facebook, on the NC Miata Facebook groups, you can always send me a message, send me a friend request. I'd be happy to chat with anyone. But that is gonna be it for this video, guys. I appreciate it if you made it all the way through. I know it was a lot of talking, but I hope I cleared up some things and anything on the table. So all in all, I am really enjoying the tune so far. The car is performing awesome. Hit the link in the description for Joe at dynatronicstuning.com. You won't regret it. For the amount of money that you spend and the way the car feels, this is the way that the Miata should have felt from the factory. But thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.